The story of Grizzly Adams is big and powerful and beautiful. They call me Mad Jack. And me and my burro number 7 been traipsing these slopes and valleys for a long spell, so I know the story from the beginning. My friend Adams was accused of a crime he didn't commit, so he escaped into the mountains, leaving behind the only life that he ever knew. Now that wilderness out there ain't no place for a greenhorn, and his chances of surviving were mighty slim. Weren't no time at all for he was beaten down, ragged, and nearly starved. Long about then, he come upon a grizzly bear cub, all alone and helpless. Now, Adams knew that little critter couldn't survive without his help, so he started right down that cliff, risking his own life to save it. Now, that cub took to Adams right off. And that was when he discovered he had a special kind of way with animals. They just come right up to him like he was a natural part of the wilderness. But that bear cub, he was extra special. As he growed, he became the best friend Adams ever had, and together they became a legend.
There's a world where we don't have to run, maybe. There's a time we'll call our own, living free in harmony and majesty. Take me home, take me home, take me home, take me home.
Now, I'm a mountain man, and every day I get to feast my eyes on the most beautiful sights on God's green earth. There's a peace and quiet about the wilderness that appears never to change. But once in a great while, Mother Nature will up and do something unexpected. Ain't been able to figure out how, but the critters in the wilderness somehow know ahead of time when nature's about to shake things up a bit. 'Twas like that the day she set the earth to quivering on a mountain a few miles away from Adam's cabin. Well, the critters had never seen nothing like this before. But even with the ground trembling under them and all that roaring noise, they was more puzzled than scared. That is, until them rocks started sliding off of that slope. That set them to scampering out of there real quick, like, 'cause they was afeared that whole mountain might fall down all over them. Well, it didn't, of course. Now, when these things happen, the critters and mountain men learn to take them as part of life, figuring the Almighty's got some purpose for them. But when men start to mess around looking to change the wilderness, there ain't no end to the trouble they can cause. Like them two fellers that come riding in later that day. We was gonna learn about that later. At first, I figured they was real nice when I met up with them while I was heading for Adam's cabin, where he and Nakoma was sodding the roof to make it snug for winter.
This sod should keep the cabin warm, Nakoma. Will that do it, Nakoma?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben. You've done all you can to help us. And I know you'd like to go berry hunting, so you best get to it. That frost is gonna set in, the berries won't last much longer. I really appreciate the help, Nakoma. Ben and I are getting a lot of cold air through that hole in the roof.
Roll the cabin.
Morning, Jack.
Howdy, Adams. Nakoma,
Sure, Jeep.
have I got some good news for you.
Well, what is it?
Well, I ran into these two government fellows a piece back. One of them is a corporal, and they's doing a survey on all the wild animals.
A survey? Well, what kind of a survey?
Well, I didn't get to ask too many questions, because you see, this corporal, he was target practicing with his rifle, and he upset number 7 something terrible. I told him a thing or two.
Well, what's the good news?
Oh, the good news is that the government's gonna do something for all the wild animals. They's gonna give them a reward.
A reward?
Yeah, that's why they's taking the survey, to figure out which animals to give the reward for.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, does it?
Well, of course it does. He was a nice enough fella. Talk like one of these Eastern politicians.
You know what that could mean? I've got a reward out for me, Jack.
Ah, that's a bounty. Bounty? Well, why would the government be putting the bounty on critters?
Where'd you see him last?
Down in the South Meadow.
Nakoma? I'll be back as soon as I can.
Number 7, you stay there. Adams, wait for me!
Well, we haven't seen any bears or wolves yet, Corporal.
Well, don't you worry, sir. We will. When we do, you just stick right in your tracks and, I'll take care of it. Nothing to worry about, sir.
You mean they won't bother us?
No, sir, that's black bear. Like I told you before, it's the grizzlies we gotta watch out for.
Perhaps we should find a safer place to camp.
Yes, sir. Just as you say. Hold it, sir! Hold it! Hold it! Grab the reins! Take the horses! This time it's a grizzly!
No! Shoot! Don't shoot!
Hold it, soldier.
That's them, Adams.
Appreciate you lowering that rifle, Corporal.
Mr. Jack, it's a relief to see you, sir.
Yeah. This here's my friend Adams.
Elmer Blodgett, sir, United States Department of Interior. This is Corporal Mullaney.
Jack's telling me the government plans on putting a reward on the animals hereabouts. Is that true?
Most certainly. A bounty on predators, sir. Wolves in particular, since they are the most vicious.
Hi, little fella. Where's your mama?
Now, just how many other poor little critters you got on that list of yours?
Well, the ranchers and the farmers say that cougars and bears should be included.
Ask me, you ought to put them bobcats and the coyotes and the foxes on there, too.
You stay right here. I'll be right back. Mr. Blodgett, my cabin's not too far from here. It's warm and I can provide you a bed.
You can? That's splendid. I must tell you, I wasn't looking forward to spending another night on the ground again.
Well, we'll take you there as soon as I take care of this little fella and get him back to his mama. Hi, Martha. I see you're here all alone without your mate. Well, here's your cub back. Ben? George is probably out looking for some honeycombs again. I'd like you to stay here with Martha. Keep an eye on that cub until their pa comes back. That's a good boy.
It's a very nice place you've built for yourself, Mr. Adams.
It's a very pretty girl, Mr. Blodgett.
Thank you. It's my fiancée, Ann Claiborne. Her father, Senator Claiborne, is the real reason I'm here. You'll hardly believe I've gotten this far into the wilderness and come face to face with a live grizzly bear.
Mr. Blodgett, would you tell me something of this Department of the Interior? I've never heard of it.
That's no surprise, sir. We're a newly formed bureau. In fact, the senator likes to refer to us as the Department of the Inferior.
What you got to do with animals?
Oh, well, we administer federal lands and its natural resources. And that includes forests and minerals and wildlife.
Mr. Blodgett, this law you're talking about would destroy the wilderness. They'd come up here and kill the eagles and the deer and the elk. They'd shoot anything that moved.
Well spoken, Mr. Adams. I will certainly include your views in my report to Congress, impractical as they may be.
Well, what's Congress got to do with animals?
Why, only Congress can pass laws, sir.
But what you say counts for something.
Yes. I dare say my report will determine the outcome.
Well, it appears to me you already got your mind made up. You're going to do what the ranchers and the farmers want you to do, ain't you?
They have the right, sir.
Mr. Blodgett, the animals have their rights, too. You can't allow bounty hunters to come up here with guns. They're going to destroy the wilderness. It belongs to the animals. I can prove that to you. I'd like to show you.
Gentlemen, please. I will be more than happy to go along with you, Mr. Adams, but I must tell you, in all honesty, I have made up my mind.
What's that young pup from Washington up to anyway? Appears like he's already got his mind made up.
We're going to change that, Jack. We're going to show them the animal side of it. Help them get a feeling for the wilderness.
Now, that's going to take a heap of doing. Got any ideas?
Going to go up and visit the wolf pack. Let him see how the animals live. He's a smart man. Something eating at him inside. We got to help him understand.
It's a waste of time. He's the worst kind of greenhorn there is. He's a scared of his own shadow.
I can't back out now, Annie. This is my chance to prove myself. I will order the corporal to stay behind. Well, the senator would respect that.
Shall I get the horses, sir?
No, Corporal. I'd like you to stay behind.
Begging your pardon, sir, but my orders are to protect you at all times.
Well, yes, but I'm quite sure I'll be safe with Mr. Adams.
Mind if I at least ask where you're going, sir?
I thought we might take a little walk in the woods. Maybe stop by and visit some wolves.
Without a rifle?
Why not? The wolves don't have any rifles.
Mr. Blodgett, could I talk to you alone, please, sir?
Certainly. Excuse me?
Sir, you can't do this.
Why not?
Wilderness just isn't any place for a gentleman like yourself. I mean, you don't take to animals. You're going out there with a pack of wolves. There ain't no telling what's going to happen to you.
Thank you for your concern, Corporal. Shall we go, Mr. Adams?
That man is plumb crazy, you know it? But I warned him, didn't I? You heard me. I told him.
Yeah, there ain't nothing gonna happen to you, man. Adams will look out for him. Now, Elmer was hoping to help overcome his problem on that walk in the woods with Adams. Meanwhile, Ben had another kind of problem, playing uncle to a playful young bear cub. Well, Ben ain't one to get annoyed too easy, but that cub was sure trying his patience. The cub just kept interrupting his rest. And each figured it was time to teach him some manners. But that cub weren't about to stand still for a lesson in good behavior. And the best place to avoid addressing down was up a tree. He figured Ben couldn't climb up there. And he was right, of course. Well, old Ben decided to rest a while till the cub got tired and clumb down. But that cub sure was full of mischief, figuring a way to pester Ben from way up on that limb. Ben ain't never been so vexed and frustrated. If you could understand bear talk, you might say he was telling that little cub he was gonna get it good when his papa come back. But that weren't likely to happen soon like. The cub's papa was having himself a time feasting on the fish, trapped in the pool backed up by the rocks that had tumbled across the stream when the earthquake shook them out.
What's that?
It's a blue fox. It's a young one. Nothing to be afraid of. It's all right.
Won't the wolves get it?
No, they respect one another. Hi, girl. Cougars are probably the most beautiful animal in the wilderness, Elmer. As long as you don't rile them, they'll leave you alone.
Don't tell me they're friendly.
I didn't say that. If you don't bother their cubs or invade their territory, they just as soon stay to themselves. I know a lot of people like that. Animals can sense when humans mean them harm, like men with guns or with sticks.
Up ahead, a little bobcat kit's curiosity and his brother's playfulness got him in a terrible fix, trapped inside that hollow log with no way to get out. And there weren't nothing his brother could do about it.
Hold it, Elmer.
It's inside the log.
It sure is. Must have rolled down this hill.
It's a cat. What's it doing out here in the woods? Hello. You know, when I was a little boy, I had one that looked very much the same. I named it Tiger.
Tiger?
Mm-hmm. I named my dog Caesar.
You seem to me a man that loves animals.
Sure, I do. Tame ones.
Well, you've just handled your first wild animal. That's a bobcat.
Bobcat. Take him.
Come on, Elmer.
Wolves.
We'll just watch him play for a while. There's no problem.
Are you sure? I mean, everything I've read about them and all the stories I've heard from the ranchers.
There's nothing friendlier than wolves. Man's been taming them for years. In fact, they even bred them with dogs for pets.
But everything I've researched makes them out to be wild and dangerous.
You've got the right to be safe in your home, Elmer. It's all the animals want. It's when you invade their privacy, there's problems. I bet you didn't know that a wolf will stay with his mate his whole life. They'll never desert their pups. In fact, they're the most friendly animal and the most loyal animal in the woods. Come on. Come on, Elmer. Hi there, fellas. Haven't seen you for a while. Hi there. You're all looking mighty good.
'Peared like Elmer was gonna lick the fear of critters that gripped him so hard. He was thinking this was his best chance to do it so he could hold his head up like a man. But when one of the wolves trotted over to say hello, Elmer just kind of fell apart inside. It was awful for him to realize he couldn't face up to his fear. That fella in there, he's gonna need a lot of cheering up.
Maybe things will look better tomorrow.
He may never go back in the woods with you again.
Now, let's see what we can do about that. Warming up for you, Elmer?
Mm-hmm. Oh, why did I do it, Adams? Why did I run? Am I as hopeless as people think I am? No, if I don't overcome this thing, it's going to be the end of me with Annie. Maybe even my job.
Took a lot of courage to go with me today, Elmer. Now, a hopeless man would have never told the corporal to stay behind with his rifle.
Elmer, you know, it could be that you've read too many books. I've read a lot of them tall tales they write about wolves, and there ain't nary a word of truth in them.
But people say otherwise.
Elmer, if an animal ever needed a friend, it's the wolf. The Indians knew that long ago. What's that Indian legend that Nakoma told us, Jack?
Oh, about the wolves howling at night?
Yeah. The Indians say many moons ago that the animals were the only ones that lived on the plains.
And then when man come along with his fears and his hatreds, all the critters left the valleys and the rivers and went up into the high country for safety.
But the wolves stayed behind. They wanted to be friends with man, but man feared the wolf, and he chased them away, and they became enemies.
Now the Indians say that someday a man will come along, and they call him Tecumseh, which means friend of the wolves.
And that's why the wolves howl at night, waiting and hoping for their friend to come. Maybe the wolves sense what you can do for them, Elmer.
Just after dawn, Ben was mighty happy to get over to the cabin after Martha come back and took over with the cub. Now the corporal, well, he was probably a dreaming of bears and other wild critters, 'cause when Ben ambled up for a look-see, it kind of disturbed him some. Well, all Ben was interested in was a good snooze. So he headed into the cabin, planning to catch up on the rest he lost during a sleepless night looking after Martha's cub. Now, it ain't like Ben at all, but right then he was a mite envious of them that had a good night's sleep behind them. And Adam's blanket was just what he needed to keep him snug in the early chill.
Morning, Ben. Martha and the cubs must be all right, or else you wouldn't be here. You want the blanket, you can have it. Here, I'll tuck in so you can be nice and warm. It's all right. It's all right. You get some sleep.
'Cause he had a big day coming up trying to help Elmer, Adams figured he'd grab just a few more winks, but that weren't to be. Martha had a problem, so naturally she come to the cabin looking for Adams and Ben. But that corporal certainly weren't neither of them. Martha was hoping Adams and Ben could help her find her missing mate.
Howdy, Martha. George must not be around, huh? It's nothing to worry about. He never goes too far. Come on, let's go have a look. After you, Martha.
Elmer was probably dreaming about his lady friend back home. He just kept sleeping, even when Joshua up and stole his glasses away.
Well, Martha, I see your cubs here with you.
Bears! Bears! Where's my rifle? There's bears everywhere!
Hold it now. What's all the commotion?
There's bears everywhere. Get your rifle. Call the sentries.
Can't you see that's just Martha? She's upset because George ain't back yet.
Craziest place I've ever seen, I'll tell you. You got men talking to bears, and bears talking to men. If I put that in my report to my commanding officer, he's going to think I'm crazy. He'll have me court-martialed. You know that, don't you?
Adams. Morning, Tacoma. What brings you here so early? There's no fish in the river at your village.
Well, is there any water?
Well, how can that be, Jack? There's a little water and no fish. We better go see what's wrong.
Well, what about the greenhorn and the corporal?
We best take him along.
I'll go get him.
Martha, I want you to go home and wait for George.
What's going on outside?
Oh, well, it seems we got a little trouble this morning. Adams and me's gonna go help a friend of ours. You wanna come along?
Oh, sure, just as soon as I find my glasses. I set them right here last night.
There they are. They was stole by a ring-tailed bandit. Why are you such a pesky critter? Now, Joshua, give me the man's glasses. You're not supposed to mess around with these things. Say, these is real good glasses. I noticed things in this cabin I never saw before.
I know what you mean. I can't see very well without them either.
Oh, well, I don't need glasses. Mountain men never wear glasses. Well, when we spotted him later, old George was still having a feast of fish from the pool the earthquake had caused.
Hello, B.
George is sure having himself a time, ain't he?
Well, that's what happened to your fish, Tacoma. That slide's blocked up the stream. We're gonna have to pull that dam down. I'll get a rope and see if we can pull those rocks out with number 7.
There's one right here.
Corporal, you have some rope, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, give them a hand, please.
Yes, sir.
Give me one end of it. Seeing that the corporal wasn't looking, I emptied his rifle and took his cartridges in case he had any ideas about trying some target practice on the critters.
Ben, we're gonna need your help.
It's amazing the way Ben obeys your orders.
I don't give him orders. Ben knows in times like these we work together, like partners.
Well, man and animal partners.
Maybe you think man and nature ought to be enemies, Elmer? I'm coming, Ben.
I may have.
Well, Statham set out to unblock him that stream. Elmer started pondering what he had said. Elmer was trying to sort out all the new ideas piling up from Adam's word when he seen that wolf nearby. And he got to thinking he had to stop feeling the wild critters was his enemies if he was going to lose his fear. That was one of them turning points that happens in a man's life. Probably one of the most important Elmer would ever have. All of a sudden, he realized his fear wasn't just of the animals. It was much bigger than that. It was facing all the problems in life. And he had to try and overcome the fear all by himself. Well, Seven, it looks like George has got his fill and is taking some home to Martha.
Mr. Blodgett? Mr. Adams, Mr. Blodgett's gone! Mr. Blodgett! Mr. Blodgett!
He was here a minute ago.
Oh, the man's out there wandering around in the wilderness by himself. He's got no protection at all. How could you let him do this, scared as he is?
Well, it can't be far. I'll find him.
Mr. Blodgett, it's my responsibility, sir.
I'll go with you, Corporal.
I'm not going to shoot any of your precious animals, not unless I'm attacked.
Adams, he sure ain't gonna shoot nothing. I emptied his rifle and took his ammunition.
You know what Elmer's out to do, don't you?
Sure, I know what he's out to do. And if anything happens to him out there, he'll never come around to our way of thinking on the bounty law.
I know it.
Well, ain't you gonna go get him?
He wants to face this problem on his own. We gotta let him. But I'll go see he doesn't get in any trouble.
Now, a wolf is one of the smartest critters there is. And there's some that might say the wolf Elmer was following sensed the human problem Elmer was wrestling with. And that maybe he had a plan to help.
Mr. Blodgett!
Come on here. That's the way. Now you got it.
Mr. Adams! Mr. Jack! Jack! Where's Mr. Adams at? I need some help.
He's off looking for Elmer. But don't worry, he'll bring him back.
Those his tracks over there?
Well, it could be.
Well, I'm following them. I can't just wait here.
Now, young feller, speaking of tracks, did I ever tell you about the time I was scouting for the U.S. of A. Cavalry No. 4? Old Fairweather, he wouldn't go nowhere without old Eyes of the Cavalry Jack, they called me in them.
Could you help me, please, sir? Could you help me?
Guess I better. You either get lost or fall in the bear pit. Tacoma, I'll be back in a bit.
Thank you.
Number 7, you wait here. The trail was as plain as can be, but the situation out there was mighty critical, and I had to keep the corporal from interfering. Now, if you're of a mind to, I'll teach you something about tracking. Might help you make sergeant one day.
I don't mind to, as long as they don't slow us down, then.
Now, you see here,
There's an old mama coon come down through there with her little ones just to get a drink of water. You can see she had three little ones.
Which way do we go from here?
Oh, off this way. Here. You see that? That there is one of Elmer's tracks, left foot.
What's that right there, huh? Is he following something or something following him? That's a wolf track, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it could be, but don't worry about it. Adams is watching him. He'll take care of him.
Watching him? You mean Adams didn't go out there to bring him back here?
Well, not exactly.
Oh. Mr. Blodgett! Mr. Blodgett!
Now, Elmer's heart was a-beating a little faster. He had a feeling he was close to a moment of truth, as they say. Especially when he saw that wolf get himself caught in a thicket. The feeling was stronger than ever that somehow he was going to stand right up to his fears and banish them once and for all.
Looks like you're caught. I can help you, if you let me. I'm your friend. I'll help you get you loose. Good boy.
Now, Adams, well, he knew every one of them wolves. They was all friendly, and Elmer was safe. He figured Elmer'd best be left alone to meet the challenge he was facing.
Just wait 1 minute. Okay. No. Well, there. Yes. Yes. No. 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 I did it. I did it. Yes, I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it.
Oh, no, look at that. Don't move, Mr. Blodgett, don't move!
Now, just calm down. The wolves ain't gonna hurt you. Just look over there.
I did it. I did it.
Well, hello there. Yeah. Yeah. Look at there. See, they won't hurt you.
Well, the stream was cleared now, and all the critters was enjoying themselves just like they did before them rocks fell down. Except George, that is. He just couldn't understand where all them tasty fish had gone. The days of feasting was over, so Martha and the cub got Papa back for good.
Excuse me, sir. Could I lash your saddlebags on for you?
Yes, Corporal, thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'd like to apologize for my unsoldierly conduct out there.
It's quite all right, Corporal. I think we both learned something. That there's nothing to be afraid of except yourself.
Yes, sir. I think you're right about that.
A few vegetables for you, Elmer.
Thank you. Well, I'll be writing a full report on my return. And I will inform you of Congress's views and their decision, of course.
I'm sure they'll make the right one. Understanding the truth is all I can ask.
Well, I will see to it that they understand that.
There's one more thing you can ask them from me, Elmer. After Congress has worked out a way for people to be safe where they live, ask them to do something for the animals.
What do you mean?
There's plenty of land up here in the high country. Ask them to turn it over to the animals and to pass a law that man can't come up here with guns.
Excellent idea. You may be outnumbered, Mr. Adams, but you're not alone. And it is small reward. But I offer you my deepest thanks.
That Indian legend that says a friend of the wolves will come along. I think you're him.
No, Mr. Adams, we both know who the real friend of the wolf is. So do the wolves.
Let's say our prayers first. We thank you, Lord, for thy plentiful bounty. Amen. That's a good boy.
Hey, Adams.
Hi, Jack. I didn't expect to see you till tomorrow.
Yeah, I had to bring you the news, the good news. Look at this, all the way from Washington, D.C.
It's from Elmer.
That's right. And there ain't gonna be no bounty on no wolves or animals or anything. Here, you'll need this. He writes small.
No, it's big enough.
It is?
Dear friend Adams, upon the advice of the Department of the Interior, the U.S. Congress will not consider creating any bounty on wild animals. I have not forgotten your excellent suggestion. I am now working on a proposal which will create a system of national parks wherein all wildlife will be protected by law.
Isn't that marvelous?
Yeah. I don't expect this dream to come true in our lifetime, but when it does, what a glorious gift it will be to the people of the nation. My bride, Annie, joins in sending best wishes. Sincerely, Elmer.
You think that'll ever happen, Adams? I mean, about the parks and all.
I sure hope so, Jack.
That'll be a great day, won't it, Ben? Truly a great day.
Deep inside the forest is a door into another land. Here is our life and home. We are staying here forever in the beauty of this place all alone. We keep on hoping maybe there's a world where we don't have to run. Maybe there's a time